question in the comments by Alicia Winner. She wanted to know how to make the pieces that you're working on bigger or smaller but still pull. Now my answer for that is when you're looking at the color changes, the color sequence, this is the color sequence for this color pattern. That is the smallest that I know how to make. There may be a way mathematically to make it smaller than this, but I haven't experimented with it. So guys, there is a way mathematically to make it smaller. I am a science and math teacher, so crunching numbers and experimenting are what I love to do. So after thinking about this yarn, I was like, I gotta figure this out. I gotta see if we can make it smaller than what it was. So as I was saying momentarily just a moment ago, this is the color sequence for that. And this is what I started with. And when you start going the other way, you stack the opposite colors and then it goes back, and then you end up stacking the same. Every other row should be the same color. So if I have like orange purple, I'm going to have a row of the yellow white, or excuse me, the blue white, and then another orange purple, and so on and so on. So I discovered that I could take the orange purple and then I'll have a row of the blue white, and then the next row will be the orange purple. So they'd be laying on top of each other every other row, as they should be, to get this to pull. So in doing that, I was like, I believe that it will swatch smaller, and it does. This is just using one row of the orange purple and then the blue white blue on top of that, and then the next row is orange purple orange, blue white blue, and it goes back and forth. Now with this being so small, it's really difficult to see the X's that you're looking for with Argyle, but that is possible. So you're gonna have to, if you want to make something small like this, really do a lot of experimenting with the yarn, or if you're like me and you're like, I just gotta figure it out, then you'll spend 3 or 4 days with the yarn. I mean, that's what we do, right? When we obsess over things. So but to answer that question, Alicia, yes, you can make it smaller. You just have to make sure that every other row or your colors are landing. So you'll see on this one I have the orange purple, then the blue white, then the orange purple row again, and blue white. So every other row is the color sequence lining up like it should be. Now to make it bigger, you simply repeat the color sequence. So now if I repeated the color sequence again, now it's this long. And if I keep going and I keep repeating the color sequence, I can make it as long as I need it to be, or as wide as I need it to be, to make whatever project I'm making. If you'll recall, in one of my Ollie's hauls, I had purchased Red Heart Super Saver Derby stripes to do color pulling with, and I did get it to color pool, but didn't quite go as planned, because if you'll take a look at the yarn here, see how thick these stripes are? The color changes are very long with derby stripes. I needed some stripes that were a little smaller to make it come out like this. These are smaller squares. With these giant color changes, it makes big squares. Now, I was experimenting with it and I did get it to color pool, but I used 2 strands that I held together to try to make it a little chunkier so that the color sequence wasn't quite as long. But as you can see, using 2 skeins, I only got this far. And only had 5 skeins altogether. So I'm gonna have to undo this, unfortunately, and see if I can work the math a different way to get it to pool just using a single strand, because this is really expensive online and I can't find it anywhere. But you'll see the diagonal here. See these pinks going in a diagonal and this dark blue. So it is pooling. It will make that checkered pattern, but the squares are gonna be that big. I don't know, you can't even see it. That big. That's how big they'll be. So I decided to abandon that project and go with the primary stripe.